the front line through the battles and the pains, with a camera in the fray and the world on our screens. We're the voice of the silence, the witness of the scenes. Headlines flashing bright from the shadows we arise, with the truth in our hands under perilous skies. Every story told is a battle we fight. Through the darkness and the fear, we bring the light. In the chaos, in the flames, we'll stand tall, with the courage to reveal through the rise and the fall. From the embers of the war to the echoes of the call, we're the eyes of the world and we'll never stall. KLW, we're the warriors on the front lines. Through the blood and the fire, we'll define the times. In the heat of the battle, where the truth aligns, we're the voice of the war and the world will find. From the ruins and the wreckage, every story's told. Through the tears and the heartbreak, the bravery unfolds. In the darkest hours, when the world's torn apart, KLW brings the stories straight from the heart. With the cameras rolling through the wreckage and the pain, we capture the reality while the world remains. Every angle, every moment in the line of fire, we're the pulse of the battlefield, never to tire. KLW, we're the warriors on the front lines. Through the blood and the fire, we'll define the times. In the heat of the battle, where the truth aligns, we're the voice of the war and the world will find. KLW, we're the warriors on the front lines. Through the blood and the fire, we'll define the times. In the heat of the battle, where the truth aligns, we're the voice of the war and the world will find. Through the smoke and the ruins, we'll pierce the veil. With every breath we take and every tale, we're the heartbeat of the conflict in the shadowed frail. With KLW's vision, the truth won't fail. Stand firm, we're the beacon in the fray. Through the dust and the fury, we'll light the way. In the fight for the truth, where the heroes lay. KLW, the story's here to stay. KLW, we're the warriors on the front lines. Through the blood and the fire, we'll define the times. In the heat of the battle, where the truth aligns, we're the voice of the war and the world will find. So here's to the courage and the tales we unfold. In the heart of the conflict, our story's told. KLW, with the truth we hold. In the fire of the war, our legacy bold.
You can't handle the truth!
KLW World News coming to you live this evening on fiber. That's right. We have a gigabit, okay, very close there, connection to the side of the Intimidator. Thank you, Casey, for your donation there, sir. Folks, there's a lot going on in the world, and, well, I want to start out with Iran. We'll probably end up with Iran, and we may hit a few things in between. We should have hit Iran weeks ago, but we didn't. Because we delayed, wanted to make a deal rather than deal with the Islamic regime. We've put ourselves in more of a conundrum because we waited. Because we waited, Iran now has attack coming. Because we waited, Russia now has hundreds and hundreds and hundreds more Shahed drones to fire Ukraine. Because we waited, China has more fuel coming from Iran. Because we waited, China has delivered a lot more weapons to Iran. Because we waited, the Chinese and the Russians are now doing exercises in the Strait of Hormuz. And because we waited, the Iranians are now threatening or have said that they have closed the Strait of Hormuz. And because we waited, the Iranians have produced a lot more missiles and drones, plus procured more weapons to fight against the Americans and the Israelis, which means that, well, we're going to need more weapons over them. Why? Because we waited. So it's going to be more of a clusterfuck than it would have been if we had done it originally.
Iran has fired back at the United States' scare tactics by closing off the world's most strategic oil shipping route for the first time since the 1980s. Supreme tyrant Ayatollah Ali Khamenei yesterday threatened to sink US warships in the Persian Gulf in another escalation of tensions amid nuke talks. Soon after, the Iranian Revolutionary Guard launched live-fire naval drills and closed the Strait of Hormuz in a rare show of force. It marks the first time the crucial Gulf choke point, through which 20% of the world's oil passes, has closed since the 1980s tanker wars between Iran and Iraq. Tehran has harassed shipping through the vital waterway in past times of tension and used naval mines to attack Iraqi vessels during the war. Global oil prices surged after threats to shut the strait during last year's 12-day war, when the US and Israel blitzed key nuclear and military sites. Iran and Russia will also be conducting navy drills in the Sea of Oman and the northern Indian Ocean on Thursday, according to Iranian semi-official Fars news agency. Iranian Navy Commander Hassan Maghsoodloo said the exercises were being carried out over maritime security and safety concerns. It comes as Tuesday's round of talks over Iran's nuclear capabilities appear to provide something of a breakthrough. Iran's Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi seemed optimistic after leading a delegation in Geneva, saying that a new window had opened for reaching an agreement. But he also declared that Iran remains fully prepared to defend itself against any threat or act of aggression, and that the consequences of an attack would not be confined to its borders.
So that's what they're saying, but this is what you need to hear, what these guys are saying, because these guys are from RT. That's Russia Today. That's Russian propaganda. You're about to hear Russian propaganda like you have never heard it before. If you know anything at all about the 12-day war, you'll know that Iran fired over, or close to, on who you asked, over 500 rockets at Israel during the 12-day war. Of those, over 500, some people say as many as 576 rockets, missiles were fired, not counting over 1,000 drones. They say that out of all of those that were fired, basically 10% of them made it. 90% didn't. Which means that about 50 or so got close. 30 actually hit something, and, well, very few people were killed, and I think there might have only been one 12-year-old killed and maybe a dozen people injured. That's out of 1,000 drones and 500 rockets. The U.S. and Israel had their hands full. This time it'll be 2 or 3 times that. So again, Israel will have their hands full. But if you ask these folks in RT, they will tell you that, man, Israel was about to say uncle, because Iran was kicking Israel's ass, at least according to what these guys are going to say. Is it true? Absolutely not. It's not true. But this is Russian propaganda at its best.
And the war really stopped. Of course, that's yet to be determined, or it's arguable. But how much more do they have now that they've amassed since the 12-day war? I hear a lot. They say a lot. Could it be a lot?
I think it's a decent amount. Now, I've heard up to 3,000 missiles a month are being produced. I don't know. And I don't know what kind of
That
missiles.
would be a lot.
That would be a lot. I don't know if they're the 2,000-kilometer ballistics or they're 500-kilometer cruise missiles. That's what I've heard. I can't say yes or no because, I'm not there. It's a state secret. Israel took 6% damage How do we know 6% damage? Because a couple hackers went in and they looked up the amount of buildings that were damaged and needed repairs, the orders that were going in. And they calculated out somewhere between 5 and 6% of the structures in Israel got damaged or destroyed. That's the 12-day war. And the Iranians weren't particularly trying to destroy high populous areas. They're still mostly hitting bases. So if this escalates into a full-on war, Israel's small. Most of the people are concentrated in several large cities. You can't miss a target because there's just not that much room for error. No matter where it falls, it's going to fall on somebody's head.
Yeah.
Because everybody's concentrated in. Iran, 93 million people, and it's the size of Germany and France combined.
Yeah.
It's huge, and it's mountainous. So it's a country that can absorb much more damage than the Israelis can.
And they can...
So those guys want to say that, hey, Israel was ready to call uncle. Now, regularly, people send me links to shows. Say, Lee, you should watch this. These guys are experts. They know what they're talking about. You should watch them. They know all about it. Well, let me let you in on a little bit of something. This guy right here, Larry C. Johnson, he's nothing more than a Johnson. He claims he's former CIA intel analyst, sonar21.com. Then you have Mr. Lawrence Wilkerson, who's colonel, retired U.S. Army. You would think that he would be smart enough to correct Mr. Johnson in his error. And Nima, or whatever the hell his last name is, the host of Dialogue Works, he hasn't got a fucking clue. He's a deer in the headlights. See, what you're about to see is Mr. Larry C. Johnson claim that the U.S. Navy carriers don't have refueling capability. He's saying that the carrier has to be within 100 miles of the coast of Iran for the U.S. carrier to attack Iran. See, Larry C. Johnson doesn't have a clue about aerial refueling of naval aircraft from a carrier. And he's going to sit here and try to say that the U.S. Navy has to be within just 100 miles of the shore, and then they still can't get to Tehran. This is why there are so many stupid people in the world, because stupid people will listen to stupid people like these three guys and believe every word of what they say. And it's not the people's fault. They don't know that these guys right here are stupid. They just fall for their bullshit. They're not smart enough to know that Mr. Johnson knows less about it than my Johnson. And Mr. Wilkerson doesn't call him out. You have got to hear this. This is 41 seconds of this guy right here showing that he's an idiot, and these two guys right here, as far as I know,
Abraham
don't know
Lincoln,
any wiser. So have a listen to this.
Abraham Lincoln, they've got a Marine squadron of 10 F-35s. And if they're flying in stealth mode, which means all the armaments are packed inside the plane instead of hanging.
Flying in stealth mode. How do you fly a stealth aircraft out of stealth mode? Would anybody fly an F-35 out of stealth mode? Here, I have spent billions of dollars to produce this airplane. Please flip this switch for me so as that I'm no longer stealth. Okay, Mr. Johnson.
It off the wings. They have a combat radius of about 600 miles. Now, those ships are, I'm told, are stationed 1,000 miles offshore.
They have a range of 600 miles. And the ships are 1,000 miles off. Wow, they'll never make it to shore.
Okay. If you got a 600-mile radius and you're 1,000 miles offshore, you're still 400 miles shy.
And there's no such thing as in fuel or in flight refueling, right, Mr. Johnson?
So let's assume that they bring the
And these two guys are amused by this because they don't even realize that Mr. Johnson is no smarter than my Johnson, or your Johnson for that matter, and has no idea what he's talking about.
ships in 100 miles offshore. They still can only fly about a third of the way to Tehran. So they have very limited range. Abraham Lincoln, they've got a squadron, a Marine squadron.
You heard it, right? This is the level of ignorance. And you know, thousands of people probably watched that show. They think that is what's happening, boys and girls. These guys are experts. That's exactly what they were after their father, well, in the beginning. That's about as close to an expert as they will ever be. Lots going on, folks. U.S. is moving tons and tons and tons of airplanes and refuelers, fighter jets, bombs, missiles, all kinds of things are flooding their way into Europe. The Gerald R. Ford is going to join Mr. Bush and Mr. Lincoln in the theater of operations. Shouldn't take too much longer for Mr. Ford to get over there with its group. Correct. Okay, lots of KCs. Lots of Pegasuses. Now the Iranians, they think that they're big and bad and they're just going to kick our ass. That's what they think. I got to turn that off so I don't get yet another freaking copyright from idiots. So there they are. They stack their stuff in their tunnels. Now, the Russians have arrived. They are in the Strait of Hormuz. Yashi's telling me 46 tankers in the past 24 hours. Weed Hopper, I'm glad you like it. So Russians and Chinese are in the Strait of Hormuz. That's just prostitute of the Bavarian variety. Hormuz. So I got for you here. They hate dogs. You know that the Muslims hate dogs. Your dog is game. Don't think so?
Do you know that having dogs in your home without any valid reason causes you to lose huge amounts of rewards daily and also keeps angels away from your home? Prophet Muhammad ﷺ warns us about this in an authentic hadith, saying, whoever keeps a dog, except for herding, hunting, or farming, will have 2 qirats of good deeds deducted every day. And it is said that a qirat is equivalent to a huge mountain. So if you're losing 2 qirats, that means you're losing 2 mountains daily. And it gets worse. Prophet Muhammad ﷺ also said that no angel will enter a home with a dog inside. Imagine your home where you pray, make dua, and seek blessings. Angels stay away from because of a dog. Islam teaches us to be kind to animals, but also follow guidance. So if you or anybody that you know owns a dog without any valid reason, think twice. Share this so others can learn.
See? Told
Do you know that having dogs...
they don't like dogs at all. More aircraft that came out last night made their way up the coast and well across over to Yep. Unexpected joint Russian-Iranian naval exercise will take place tomorrow near the Strait of Hormuz. Right, that's Bovanian prostitute. The Russian forces arrived yesterday. But that. So yeah, everybody's over there getting ready to play. We've got multiple AWACS aircraft in the area as well. Gotta love it. Now, in case you didn't know, there is a Muslim problem in Europe. Public service first.
Oh my God.
I am sick to death of seeing women walking around with headphones on. You are putting yourself in such a vulnerable position, girls. With these on, you're putting yourself in your own little bubble. You're completely unaware of your surroundings. Now, this is really important that you're aware of what is going on around you. Your awareness is your self-defense. If you're aware, you can act upon it. If you're unaware, because you've got these on and you can't hear, you're making yourself vulnerable. Now, remember, there's a little thing here of the video that I commented on before with the lady in the train station. She's got her headphones on. She's also listening to her phone. And look what happened to her. This can happen anywhere. Please, 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 I beg you, do not go out with these on. If you want to listen to your music, and I get it, you're jogging, just wear one, put one on, or one ear pod, or better still, wear the jawbone. Then you can listen to your music and you're still completely aware of what's going on around you. That way you can protect yourself. Prevention is better than cure, ladies. Just don't wear these, please.
And you should. You shouldn't wear those. And we shouldn't have to put up with this either. The mayor of New York City.
I've no hesitation at all in saying we need more migrants in London. And let me explain why. So I'm not equivocating. It's really important for me to say this why. Park the social benefits to our city from migration. Park the cultural benefits to our city from migration to help our economy, but also the well-reported issues about low birth rates and so forth, and the pipeline of people coming into the economy and so forth. So we need migration, sensible migration. I've no hesitation at all in saying we need more migrants in London. And let me explain why. So I'm not equivocating.
Oh yeah, you definitely got to have more of that in London. They're going to want to do more of that in Washington, D.C. In fact, the migrants are now taking a dump in the streets of New York City. They are defecating all over the streets, just like they're doing in Paris. And, Chuck Schumer says, no, we don't need voter ID, but he hasn't always said that. Go back to 1996.
Let's admit the truth. Everywhere people go, they're asked for a social security card. In fact, one way to prove you're a bona fide person who can have a job is to ask for a driver's license and a social security card. This is an anti-fraud amendment. Over where we go, people say, well, why can't you stop illegal immigrants or others from coming here? And the number one answer we give our constituents is when they come here, they can get jobs, get benefits against the law because of fraud. Let's admit the truth. Everywhere people go, they're asked for a social security card. In fact, one way to prove you're a bona fide person who can have a job is to ask for a driver's license and a social security card.
Oh, sorry guys, I'm muted. All right, so I had a few more things that I wanted to show you guys. This is one of them. It's not all about power, folks. It's also about technique. Now, what I want to show you is, you see this table here, see all these spikes that are coming up. That shows you how many pieces of bamboo are tied together here. Watch these people's best effort to cut as many pieces of bamboo as possible. Now note that the table is completely full. You cannot put any more bamboo. That table. One guy, one sword. Not the guy that you can pick off in college. Okay. Now the Ayatollah, boy, he wants us dead.
نو البته یک دستگاه خطرناکی است.
But more dangerous than the carrier is the weapon that can send that carrier to the bottom of the sea. That's what they want to do. They want to launch all of those missiles simultaneously against our carriers, try to sink all of them at once. So they'll hit with a wave of drones, then a wave of missiles from their launch against our carriers.
Martha, good afternoon. Nuclear negotiations aimed at reaching a deal with Iran in Geneva, Switzerland, are finished. A U.S. official telling Fox News progress was made, but goes on to say there are still a lot of details to discuss. The Iranians said they would come back in the next 2 weeks with detailed proposals to address some of the open gaps in our positions. Iran's foreign minister said his country reached an understanding on main principles with the U.S. As Iranian state media reports, the talks entered the technical phase with conversations on uranium enrichment and stockpile levels. U.S. Special Envoy Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner participated in the indirect negotiations that were led by Omani officials, with Iran's foreign minister leading the opposing delegation. Overnight, President Trump was asked about the talks, saying this.
At this zone that a deal is next to impossible? No. I think they want to make a deal. I don't think they want the consequences of not making a deal. They want to make a deal.
As negotiators gathered in Geneva, Iran's supreme leader spoke from Tehran amid a crowd that chanted and cheered. The Ayatollah Khamenei issued a new threat against the U.S. Navy.
They keep saying we have sent warships toward Iran. Okay, of course a warship is a dangerous device, but more dangerous than that is a weapon that can send that warship deep under the sea.
You have President Trump offering diplomacy and Iran's supreme leader threatening to sink U.S. Navy assets. Martha?
Trey, thank you very much. And we'll speak about all of that with the Vice President in just a few moments. But
all right, folks, I got a little bit of humor for you here.
This also entitles you to a clock you can take with you, use while we're fixing yours, too. You got all kinds. Little one, you want a little one? You got one that's shape of an owl.
Shape of an owl?
Doesn't have any hands. This is the hour, this is minutes. Want to see 2:45? You got one that's a horse.
A horse, huh?
Deepest well river
Got
duck.
some in from Australia.
Deepest well river
They're
duck.
all in the shape of a koala.
Can you please do something for me, please? I may be dying.
Well, that's why I'm here.
Oh, hurry, please.
Get this out of the way here. I got this when I was in Australia. That's real cool.
Yeah, there you go. It's real koala. And leave it to the
Deepest well river duck.
What's the light at the bottom?
Well, we followed the plans. Yeah, we did just what he said.
You're supposed to be building a lighthouse.
There you go. Let's see here. What else did I have for you guys? Just a few things. Crazy liberals. There's just so much stuff I would like to show you, but this beautiful platform will give us a copyright strike for it.
Because you know what? You have the right to protest, but not violently. Because you know what? Two reasons. Violence undermines the morality that you say your movement is built upon. Dr. King knew that. That's why he wanted nonviolent protest. Gandhi knew that. President Mandela knew that in South Africa. Violence undermines the morality that you say your movement is built on. Now, there's a second reason that you can't protest violently. It's against the law. And it's bone deep, down to the marrow, stupid. If you act like a butthead with a cop or an ICE officer, it's not going to end well. It's not going to end well. Here's a little tip. It's free. Cops will leave you alone unless you do illegal stuff. And that's what this debate is all about.
Now, folks, it's been proven now that groundbreaking new study finds that Islamophobia may be partially caused by Muslims killing people of all kinds all the time. I mean, there's certainly no, how should we say, racism in being a Muslim. They're equal opportunity murderers. Radical Islamists will kill anybody of any race at any time for absolutely no reason. Now, it's been said many times that there are reasons that women live longer than men. this may be one of those reasons.
The trick of filling a tyre with flammable liquid and igniting it might look insane, but it works. The fire expands rapidly, forcing the tyre bead to seat on the rim. Dangerous but effective. The trick of filling a tyre with flammable...
Yeah, I would say that that's dangerous but effective. Now, this is a octopus that was found only 1,600 meters down. Look how he can impersonate a balloon.
That is a big animal.
Well, I was asking for an octopus.
Yeah.
You got it.
It's our fourth one for this watch. It's pretty good. Oh my gosh. Wow. It's really putting on a show for us.
Yeah, he seems a little.
That's fantastic.
Unnerved.
I wish we could see the other end.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, could you
I
a
can't get
little
over
to
this.
the
This
left?
is amazing.
Turn around, please.
Do you think it's doing this for like kind of
A little wider video?
making us think is so big and
He's
threatening?
coming towards
Just
us.
gently back off a bit.
He wants us to know that he's too big to slurp.
It's like a parachute.
Oh,
Look at
cool.
That is a big animal.
Well, I was asking for an octopus.
Yeah.
You got
It's
it.
our fourth one.
And he got one. Also, for those of you who may be celebrating Ramadan, so we have custom graphics out of World News, so as that we can write in the native language there for everyone celebrating Ramadan. There's our greeting from KW World News. Now, this woman isn't going to be celebrating any because, well, she got what she deserved.
How much are you making? I'm making $150,000 a year.
All right, I'm bringing her to court today to try to increase my child support. We have 2 kids together. She makes quite a bit of money. I'm a school teacher. I only make $50,000. And I mean, I just need a little help. She helps everybody else, but she doesn't help the kids like she should.
How much money are you getting right now from her?
$450.
You so mad that you
The
broke.
PP.
Ooh, ma'am, don't do that. Don't do that. I didn't tell him to be a little teacher. That was on him. Now, ma'am, first off, don't call him a little teacher. That's not nice. Don't do that. We all have different paths. He chose to be a teacher. I chose to be a real estate agent. That's all. Bringing your monthly child support to $2,550. Why did you do this? Excuse me, Your Honor. I make about $150,000. Did you say that? I did say that. Right. You did say that. So that's what I based it on. Shut up. How much are you making?
See what happens? So, couldn't happen to a nicer person.
Baltimore City Police have charged a man. 31-year-old Dwayne Townsend is charged with indecent exposure and disorderly conduct on several occasions dating back to November of 2018.
And you see, that's what the problem is. Now, it's a beautiful day. I want to come outside with my shirt off, and I was just jogging, trying to get my body back in shape. And all of a sudden, I get hit stick like I'm on Madden, just boom, out of nowhere by a cop. And it scared the hell out of me. I was so scared, y'all, I didn't on myself. And I'm talking about I was wet. I was wetter than a whale in a bubble bath drinking a bottle of water, okay? And to myself, I said, indecent exposure? Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right. What you want me to do? I'm a man. You want me to put on a bra? Man, that bra strap will snap like a bungee cord. Just go. And, I just came out of court, and they just gave me 2 court dates. 1 for each titty.
I'm sorry. It's had a fantastic response. I'm sorry. I can't.
Sorry. Baltimore City Police have charged the man. 31-year-old Dwayne Townsend is charged with indecent exposure and disorderly conduct.
About the kid who was outside the Democratic fundraiser selling kittens. When the people came out from the fundraiser, he was holding up the kittens and he was saying, buy a Democrat kitten. Well, a couple of weeks later, the Republicans held a fundraiser in the same place. And when they came out, there was the same kid with the kittens. And he said, buy a Republican kitten. And one of the members of the press who'd seen him there 2 weeks before said, wait a minute, kid, you were selling these kittens the last time as Democrat kittens. How come the Republican kittens now? Kid says, because now they got their eyes open.
Boys from the beginning. If you were born a boy, you stay a boy. Girls are girls right from the start. If you were born a girl, you stay a girl and grow up to be a lady. Only girls can be the mommies. Only boys can be the daddies. Yes. Boys are boys from the beginning.
And don't you forget that, folks. Don't you forget that. Don't let your kids forget that. Now, the Iranians, well, they think that they can sink every American ship and shoot down every American plane. But, well, the truth of the matter is that's not true. In fact, as far as I know, the Iranians have never shot down an American fighter jet, nor have the Iranians ever sank a U.S. Navy ship. Think of that. And yet, they think they're going to destroy everything we have. This is going to be so great. All right, folks, that is about all I had for you this evening. We are going to start another War Watch for you here so that you guys can stay aware of what is going on. I am getting the Intimidator modified. I'm broadcasting from the Intimidator, and I will be for the next 2 weeks. We are beginning our trip. The first thing we are doing is installing. And folks, a lot of people help us here at KLW World News. I want to say thank you to everybody who donates to the channel and helps keep us on the air. Also want to say thank you to those who make special purchases for KLW World News to help us improve the quality of the content that we deliver to you. We will be installing a high resolution, high quality camera to replace the Spooky Cam. Spooky Cam 2.0. We think you will be shocked with the quality of the imagery that we're going to get from this camera. It's going to allow us to take images of craters on the moon. It's going to allow us to help prove that they're round. It's going to help us identify other things at certain times, which I'm not really at liberty to get into right now, but it's going to be a good thing for everybody. Additionally, others have donated funds for other things to purchase new pieces of equipment, spectrum analyzers, video displays, stuff for the satellite dishes that are going on to the Intimidator. The donations continue to come in, and because of that, we are able to improve. For example, this is a 4K broadcast. Right here. Racer. RXE&E Racer donated $10. So thank you much, Racer. Greatly appreciate that. That came through while I was doing the broadcast. So thank you, sir. Appreciate that. So that's how that works. So if you have not joined the network, now would be a great time to do it. We do not have a Venmo, but we do have PayPal. And I don't know, we may have something else. I'm not familiar with all of those. Yeah, Mother Mosher has been one of the many, and others have significant channel, and greatly appreciate that. So we do have a Cash App link. Well, I was advised from Racer. So how did the stream come out tonight? Does it look pretty good? Did it sound pretty good? It's in 4K. I boo-booed. I was supposed to have set it up as normal latency, opposed to ultra low latency. Not support. Okay. Thank you, Triggered. Appreciate that. I'm sure all of the members. Yes, I did, Charlie. Thank you very much, sir. I greatly appreciate your support as well. Yeah, this camera can down to 0.003 lux. He's in color. You guys are going to be very impressed with what we are showing you. Hopefully tomorrow. I'll be back next month. But I think, well, I think the audio cutting out a few times was yours truly forgetting to unmute myself. But I'm on my headset. So I don't know how well that sounds. But I'm on my headset, and I don't have to worry about it muting it like I do when I'm in this. Yeah, to donate, do it through PayPal is a quick and easy way to do it. Also, get signed up on the network, folks. We've got more and more people on the network now around the world. We're growing by the day. So KLWWorldNews.com and get signed up there with VIP or above. Charlie says I sound good. It's broadcast quality. Broadcast quality. Glad you like. All right, so good. That's what we were looking. Yeah, and if you haven't gotten on the network, now is the time to do so. So anyway, that's going to end us for here tonight. Like I said, I'm going to start another War Watch here. We have a lot of military assets moving into the Middle East, and this isn't a case of saber rattling. There is going to be a large canister of whoop ass delivered by General Reyes and Kane. So, a lot going to be happening here near future when we get very close to that. So with that, I want to thank you guys for being here. We will see you again tomorrow afternoon for Live with Jeff, Johnny, and Lee, and then again tomorrow night. So have a good night, everybody. Next time, I can find that pig. Where my head.
That's all, folks.